If you do that yourself, then you're rounding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In other words, if you exit and then you come back and then you enter those numbers yourself, right?
Yes.
I mean, again, it's not entirely wrong, except that you're not giving a precise value in the end. So that's why it was close. But again, of course, I'll still give you full credit
Okay.
on the exam. You know, I'm not that picky. You know. Next.
For the past year, buttons and bows had a cost of goods sold of $18,570. At the end of the year, the accounts payable balance was $3,105. How long on average did it take the company to pay off its suppliers in days
Okay, so that's really a question. This one is a day sales and
payable?
payables. So that's 365 over the payables turnover, which is itself a ratio, right? Of cost of goods sold.
over payables.
That's right, 18,570 over payables, which is 25. And then we get 365 over the payables turnover. Is it 5.9807? And then when I take the ratio between those two values,
61.
then I get 61.03, right?
Yep. Is that times?
Actually here, because it's days,
Days.
so it's days, right? 61.03 days. Now, what's times here would be the turnover, right? The turnover ratio, right? The payables turnover ratio, right? Will be in times, like this one.
Okay.
Next,
To the closest year, how long will it take $600 to double if it's deposited and earns 9%?
actually, that's one of the easiest questions, right? Why is that?
Because you got your present value and your future value.
And not only that, but it sounds like what? The rule of 72.
Ah.
How do I know it's the rule of 72? Because it says to the closest year, which means an approximation, right? Does that make sense? How long will it take for, it will take $600 to double if the rate is 9%. Well, that's the definition of the rule of 72, the time that it takes for an investment to double in value if that investment grows at the rate of interest, right? And then the rule says this, that N is about 72 over the R, right? So here, what is the R here? Right? So what's the answer?
8.
8 years?
Well, geez, that was easy.
Is it possible to use other formula?
But you could also use the other formula. But see, because here it says to the closest year, so I was kind of looking for an approximation,
Oh,
right? So then that's, you could also do the other one.
Yeah, the same answer, but this.
However, if my answer says, if the question says, find the exact time,
Okay.
then you cannot use what?
rule of
The
72.
rule of 72, because that's an approximation. Because I could also have that, right?
I have a question about question 18. What does, excuse me, what does payable turnover means exactly?
Well, that's really how many times you are going to, the company will pay its suppliers.
How many times?
That's right, how many times over a period. So just like the accounts receivable turnover, it says how many times the firm will collect from its credit sales. So it's about how many times. So that's why to see the number of days, we take 365, which is the number of days in a year, divided by that number of times. So that every so-and-so, then they are able to collect, right? Or every so-and-so, they're able to pay their suppliers.
And this problem they are going to pay for every 600 times.
Exactly, so every 61 days on average, they're going to pay their suppliers. Because again, remember, it's payables. That means something that they got on credit themselves. Right?
Mhm.
Do you understand?
I do, but it just doesn't sound intuitive to me.
What do you mean?
Like cost of goods sold over accounts payable. So it takes you like, so the cost of goods sold is 5 times of the accounts payable. Well, roughly 5 times. And then, say 6. And then, so days sales in payable, it means